Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to Granny B's house. I hope it's a good day wherever you are. Granny B's having a really good day. Granny B has lots of good days. I hope you do too. And I hope you're remembering to always be kind to others around you and treat people the way you want them to treat you. That's a good rule to go by. Well, do you ever have sleepovers? Do you ever go to your friend's house and sleep over? And if it's a nice evening, you maybe sleep outside? Well, that's what's going to happen in Oscar's Starry Night. It's written by Joan Stimpson, illustrated by Meg Rutherford. Well, it's a big book, so Granny B's going to scoot out of the way here. Oscar was a bear who was often overexcited. He whooped when he whizzed down his slide. He shrieked when he took Mom by surprise. And if ever he tried anything new or adventurous, Oscar couldn't wait to begin. One morning, Oscar woke up feeling more excited than he'd ever felt before. That afternoon, he was going to play with Ollie, and that night, he was going to sleep at Ollie's house. When it was time to leave, Oscar ran on ahead. "Look, Ollie's coming to meet me," he cried, and he waved goodbye to Mom. All afternoon, the two bears raced and chased each other. Oscar kept shouting across the mountainside, "I'm going to sleep at Ollie's house." And when Ollie told him they were going to sleep outside, Oscar was even more excited. After supper, the two bears made up their beds. "It's going to be a fine, warm night," said Ollie's mom, "and I'll be just inside if you need me." Oscar snuggled down eagerly. This was the moment he'd been waiting for. "Isn't it wonderful out here?" asked Ollie. But by now, night was falling. Everything looked different in the dark, and Oscar began to feel anxious. Woo! Woo! An owl flew by and made him jump. Strange shadows in the gloom made him shiver. Then, worst of all, Oscar felt something soft and fluttery on his face. "What's that?" he squeaked in a panic. "It's only me trying to find your tickle spot," giggled Ollie. But by now, Oscar was feeling silly as well as nervous. What if Ollie doesn't want to be my friend anymore? He wondered miserably. "Isn't it wonderful out here?" asked Ollie for the 10th time. Oscar was too upset to answer. But suddenly, Ollie bounced across from his bed and onto Oscar's. "And the most wonderful thing of all," he cried, "is that you're here. Because otherwise," Ollie told Oscar, "I'd be scared." Oscar sat up in amazement. "I was a bit scared myself at first," he admitted, "but I'm all right now." Just at that moment, Ollie's mom bustled outside. "Now, who's ready for a drink?" she said after all that talking. Oscar and Ollie both wanted a drink. Then they wanted to see the waterfall by moonlight. At last, the two bears settled down. "See how many stars you can count," said Ollie's mom, "before you fall asleep." "Oh," cried Oscar and Ollie as they turned on their backs and gazed upward. "Oh," they cried again as a shooting star dived across the sky. "Isn't it wonderful out here?" asked Ollie when his mom went inside. This time, Oscar nodded happily. "It's all wonderful," he told Ollie, "and one day soon, I'd like to sleep at your house again." and they both fell asleep. Well, I sometimes like to go outside at night and look up at the stars and see if I can find one shooting across the sky. One time I even took my sleeping bag out and put it on the picnic table on the patio, and I slept out there looking at the stars until late, like 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was just so nice to be out in the fresh air at night. It's something unusual, and of course, you might not want to try that unless you live in a really safe place. Well, you know, Granny Bee loves you, and Granny Bee hopes you enjoy the outdoors, whether it's daytime or nighttime. But always be safe, and always be kind to those people around you. And always remember that Granny Bee loves you, and Granny Bee wants you to come back and see me again real soon. I'll bet I'll read you another story. Okay? Bye-bye.